this one. Okay, Curvies. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for being you. We are live. We are back in the building, Curvies. We are back in the building. Let me see. Can I make something play for us? Because, oh, did I just show you guys that? Let me see. Let's see. I'm so glad that I did not indulge in the Diddy trial because that shit was a bust. Think about all the people who spent so many weeks indulging in the Diddy trial, all for their time to be wasted. He got off scot-free. They wasn't trying to do nothing but distract you from the big, beautiful bill from going through. Now your grandma don't have no Medicaid, and your cousin lost her food stamps. Fucking around with the Diddy bill. You were supposed to be calling your House of Representatives, fool. Fucking around with the Diddy. Look at you. Look at you. Look what you let slip through your hands. You guys got bamboozled. All the diddlers got bamboozled. Unfortunately, it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they fell for the shiny lights. For the shiny lights up in the sky. It's not their fault. Oh, look, he's over there. He already got another commercial. Here we go, you guys. Bianca, thanks for coming back. Oh, my phone is over there. Where's the volume? You know where to come. There we go. Wait. Dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday night. My wallet is swole. I hopped in the ride. It's time to roll. Pick up the girls. We all look fine. Beat, can't stop. We don't have time. My fit is fitting. The joint I'm hitting. Puff, pass, or you'll be missing. The way I'm feeling, better than a villain. Damn, it's a cool feeling. Oh, that was one of my old school raps, you guys. I used to fancy myself a rapper. I was Lizzo before Lizzo. I was Lizzo before Lizzo. Okay, you guys, you ready to Love Island? I'm ready to Love Island. Is it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Double up, double up, double up, double up, double up. Okay, I had pictures for us. So, because when I do it on my phone, I can get to these pictures better before my phone gets too hot. Hot trial in the city. So last night on Love Island, this happened. You guys, we almost got our wish. We almost sent Taylor the Bamboozler home. We almost got our wish. But no, the damn producers foiled us again. At least this time the damn producers told us what was going to be happening with our damn votes if we ranked the shit. Last time I ranked something, Jeremiah went home. That was not supposed to freaking happen. And Huda got to stay. That was not supposed to freaking happen. Had I known the rank would have done like that, I would have activated all the phones I have in my house and put the app on there just to put Huda to the end. If I would have known that not putting her specifically to the end would have meant Jeremiah went home. Because Jeremiah deserves a place to lay his head, and it should have been in the villa. Damn it. But no! America got their fingers in here and for some reason sent the black man home who got cussed out for 2 days by Crash Out. Okay? Who happens to be a mommy. Mamacita? No, a mommy. Mamacita? No, just a mommy. And now we have this whole situation where we have way too many people in the villa. The bombshells are supposed to bomb, blow something up, and obviously when something gets blown up, that means there's nothing else left, right? So a bombshell comes in, that means one person is supposed to leave. That's what I'm thinking was supposed to happen. I didn't know it was going to turn into, how many people was there last night? Sierra, Iris, Amaya, Bianca. Is somebody using their fingers? I'm going to name them. You guys count them. So for the girls, we have So many people. Wait, it was in the thumbnail. Almost in the thumbnail. Where's the thumbnail? Is this it? Is this it? Here we go. Okay, so this picture shows how many people are there. They started off with 5 girls and 5 guys. Starts off with 5 girls and 5 guys. And we're supposed to be getting down to, I think it's 4 couples and then 3 couples and then 2 couples. Hey, Palaver, thanks for coming through. Happy Friday. And then, but because Huda, it ruined the experience, her crash out literally made the house regress. Her crash out for 48 hours on Jeremiah and the aftermath, it made connections be missed. So many people were not focused on their own connection ability that they paid too much attention to Huda, who I feel like her demon might be a vacuum. She sucks the air out of the room. And she sucked the energy out of this experiment. Anybody who says anything different, leave it in the comments. I welcome a good banter. And perhaps you could even add something that might help me change my mind and realign a chakra. Because at this point, as a new islander, this is my first experience, and all I've heard is about how it's supposed to go. To me, what happened wrong, because I keep asking everybody, has there ever been a Huda situation before where she cussed somebody out for 2 days and it was allowed to go on for so long? And they were like, no, that's never happened before. And I'm like, so that has to be the turning point, because that was happening by like day 4, 5, 6. She was already leaving hickeys on him. She was doing a lot of stuff to him. So let me see. You guys might or might not know who I'm talking. This is Huda. This is Huda in the middle of the night, like a stalker, trying to use night vision to see through the darkness on what Iris and Jeremiah are doing that America wanted to see him do. And so she's looking like this because it's a night vision camera, you guys. And so they're supposed to be all asleep. All those other people are in the room right now. And she's sitting up on the side of her bed, sucking the energy out of the fucking room, because it's all about her and her feelings. So she's up. And so now everybody else in the room has to be up because Huda's up. Okay? They could have been spitting in their hand or whatever. But no. Huda poopied her diaper and somebody needs to get the wipies. Okay? Doesn't her face look like she made a poopy in her diaper and somebody needs to help find a binky? That's what I'm saying is what's happening. Okay? And she cussed a black man out for 2 days. She's Palestinian and Jordanian is what they're saying. She cussed Jeremiah out. Where'd Jeremiah go? He's way back in the Rolodex. He hasn't been on in a while. Anyway, she cussed Jeremiah out for 2 days, you guys. And belittled him, emasculated him. He wasn't a man, all this kind of stuff. And that, even Nick was like, she's ruining it in here. And then Taylor, Jeremiah, Ace, Nick, Austin, Charlie, Pepe, all of those guys were like, they were like also paying more attention to Huda's crash out and Jeremiah's handling of it than paying attention to their women. So they're missing moments of connection is my point. So as a new time viewer, that's who I'm blaming is Huda. That was my, but Huda has a lot of stands that were wishing death on Olandria and Shelley from episode 26 for finally speaking up at Huda's behavior. So in number 27, which is where we are tonight, after the fire pit party where everybody was, Huda is an anomaly. Yeah, exactly. Like it's never happened before, right? What I hate is the whole cast letting the little, yes, run unchecked. You're talking about, is that Ace? Is that, I can't see what that emoji is, Palaver, but is that Ace? In UK, Love Island, they would have checked her and booted her out. Oh, see? Yeah. Who would have checked her? The rest of the cast? or production. Like, who's working here? Who's in charge at the insane asylum, right? Because I'm like, nobody in the thing did anything to dissuade, check, or realign her. And instead, they're mad at Jeremiah because he needs to think after getting cussed out on national TV. Oh, it's a troll. Yeah, she's a total box troll. A total box troll. Now, it could also, I don't know how you're feeling about Ace, because as a first-time Islander, let me offer that I was told that part of the magic sauce of Love Island is that as a viewer, we don't even know that there's money or game involved. Not like that. It was supposed to be about us watching love stories and love connections and relationships be built up, grow, nurture, fall apart, whatever. We weren't supposed to be concerned with the survivor aspect. We weren't supposed to be concerned with the traitor of it. We weren't supposed to be concerned with the, I'm doing air quotes, you can't see, the game of it. And then here comes Ace. And Ace is, he's the guy down here in the bottom, right next to the guy in the red shirt, below the guy in the yellow shirt. That's Ace. And he told everybody at the fire pit in the previous episode that he's 5'10", and he has enough nerve. You're gonna have to unlock it. He has enough nerve. Love you. He has enough nerve to try to tell these other people on the island how they should be playing their game. Now, as a broad from Oakland, which is what I am, I'm a gifted child of God from Oakland, California. And where I'm from, in the town business includes men or women. When you're paying attention to your business. You're not clocking another man's business. If you catch him slipping, you're picking up the slack, obviously, for your own gain, but you're not like actively like, oh, look how that bus driver is driving his bus. He's doing it wrong. Like, that's not the shit you spend your day doing if you're a real one. However, Ace seems to think that a real one, a real man, goes around a casa, a real man who happens to be the shortest and the youngest. He's 22 and 5'10", in a house of above 22 and above 5'10" people, men specifically. And he decides, because he's used to teaching people how to dance on Instagram and TikTok, that he's in charge. And his place is everybody. And you need to hit this mark when I say hit this mark. And if you don't, you ruin the production and it's off with your head. And that's what Ace is giving me. As a first-time viewer, I called the person who told me to watch this show, and I was like, is that supposed to happen? They were like, no. I was like, so he's not supposed to be talking about the game? Because Ace would go around to Nick, who's behind him in the blue shirt, and to Taylor, who's in the orange shirt, and say, oh, Jeremiah's playing the game. He's not doing it right. He already is hooking up with somebody on day one. And the real problem also is that they all wanted to hook up with Huda, who looks like Kim Kardashian, if that's your vibe, like that's the aesthetic. And so it was obvious to me that that's what Ace's real problem was, is that he wanted to dip his hand in a cookie jar that was, the lid control was under Jeremiah. And because he was only 5'10", he couldn't just override Jeremiah. So he had to get a posse together called Nick and Taylor, and they plotted actively to get Jeremiah out, going around telling anybody else, the three of them, and worked as a trifecta. Whenever other people would even come in the house, the three of them worked actively against Jeremiah. Look how he's playing the game. Look at that. He made her laugh. We need to, look, he made her laugh. She's smiling. Ooh, she just leaned in for it. They were just such freaking haters. And I don't think that Love Island is a place for haters. And is that an anomaly also, Palaver? Is Ace and Huda Are they both anomalies? Because from what I'm understanding, that's not something that's usually heard of or tolerated either. Is for somebody to actively be walking around the money, the money, without it costing them specifically the game and the money. So I don't know how we're on episode 27, which is, what, by the way, what this number means is that every number is an episode equals a day, pretty much. But we're off by a couple because they don't film on Wednesdays or Saturdays. So we're off by a couple. So how did he make it to episode 27, which is technically probably day 30? And he's been talking about another man's game to other men since episode 5. Y'all let him get away with this shit for 22 episodes and it's not even supposed to be tolerated? What is going on? Is this just for me because I'm new here? Because I didn't need it for the whole experience because I was looking for love. And obviously I'm in all the wrong places. Looking for love in Fijian spaces. Looking for love with a Maya papaya. Looking for my love in Olandria Shelley. Looking for love. Can Ace get off the motherfucking island, please? And it would have been Ace also. Look, so Ace, his first partner was Yulissa Escobar. Not to be confused with Pablo Escobar. And Yulissa came and decided she wanted to take Ace from Shelly because that's what people do. And then it was a legend going around about the thing that Yulissa got whisked away in the middle of the night. Just all of a sudden, Ace was walking around the house by himself. He still didn't make a move on Shelly, who had previously chosen him and he had met outside the casa. He still didn't make a move on her. Even though he said he wanted to, but didn't act on it. So Ace is full of a lot of different kinds of things, including shit. And Ace went to all the people, ruined the game by talking about the game, gets him voted off. And it was all because he was jealous that not only did Jeremiah pull Huda, but then Jeremiah pulled the lady in the red dress up at the top on the far left side with the little red mini dress right there. That was Jeremiah's next pull, you guys. He was, oh my gosh, what is it called? Is that O for O? Is that 1 for 1? I don't know, but he was winning according to the aesthetics because unfortunately, I mean, she is beautiful. I don't feel like it's like a more beautiful, less beautiful, but it is a certain kind of aesthetic. Talk about a bombshell. And she had a bit of the dowel in the back. We thought Olandria's juicy booty was happening. We thought Huda's juicy booty was happening. And then here comes Andriana, because it was a different spelling, Andriana. And we were like, good, googly wuggly. And then you see she only has a breadth of a waist. So it made her thing look even bigger. And all it took was for Jeremiah to start playing the game that Ace told him to finally play, to finally get him kicked off the island for sure, for sure. Because then he started playing the game with Brianna. I'm Brianna. And that didn't work in his favor. So now we still got Ace on the island. 25 days past his prime. And because he's been talking about the game. And then he wants America to think that he deserves to be the #1 fucking couple with Shelly when we see you playing these games? Really? Fool, you don't know that this is the first time I get to vote on something that I care about as far as this reality stuff? I'm like, really? Taylor was at the end. I'm sure I was like, that had to be my energy because I was like to the end with Taylor and Clark. Putting Olandria through it like that. So anyway, so last night's episode, they had a pop the balloon thing where they had to pop balloons and find out what America thought in our polls. Now, let me see. Do I have the polls we actually took here? Let's see. I think I do. I think I have some of the polls so you can see the kind of questions they were asking. Let's go back up to the top. Oh, and then also one of the things that happens on the show is you win followers and stuff. So they track the amount of followers that you have. And so you come in with zero. And the first guy that left, a millionaire, he came in at zero and left with 1.5 million followers on his TikTok and over 500,000 on his Instagram. It's amazing. So Amaya Papaya, she went from like, I think she had thousands when they started. She's up to 1.4 million. She gained 293,000 followers in 24 fucking hours with this show, you guys. And that's what people do. Like whoever you like on the show, you follow them. Whoever you don't like, you unfollow them. So then Sierra fell from grace. You see her over there. She has a negative 34. You see her total new count is 692,000. She just had almost a million 3 days ago. Like on Monday, she almost had a million. And now she's down to 692,000 because, as it turns out, she likes to use a racial slur towards Chinese people as an adjective of all things. Yeah. She said her eyes were looking this slur, and so she needed to go get Botox to have her eyes lifted. And she's still on the show, even though Julissa, who I was telling you about, Julissa got escorted away in the middle of the night. And because she said the hard R, she said enter in a podcast and then went on a show where they have a zero tolerance policy for racism. And when they find out or you do anything racist, it's supposed to be off with your head. So I'm not sure how Sierra is still on here. Why is Sierra still on here where it's common knowledge for at least the last, I think the story broke on like Monday that she had made a post before going talking about she needed to get her eyes on this racial slurs, CHI, you know what the word is, right? For Asians. You've heard of that slur before, right? She said her eyes. I didn't even know you could. You can see how creative I get with my words over here on LRGA Curves. And I've never even thought to use a racial slur as a freaking adjective. Not like that. But she did. So she's been losing followers, but she hasn't lost camera time. Okay? And she was able to affect the rest of the season last night because she's still there. If she would have been gone and there wouldn't have been no more votes last night, then it would have been a tie between Taylor and Brianna, I think, right? So, yeah, she's no good. Okay, well, wait, there's comments. UK cast would have cussed the living daylights out of her, isolate and shoe dumped. Yay. 100% on that? Okay, exactly, Larja. People in prior seasons didn't even say game. All they focused on was connections, right? You'd get voted if you failed after 2 or 3 recount. Oh, see? Ace needs to go. Angry little man. He is. And people say I'm body shaming him by referring to his height. Yet he referred to his height as 5'10". So since he's called himself 5'10", I can say angry 5'10" man. That's what I'll say. Because he said it. I didn't say it. So there, I'm not shaming him. Happy Friday, Harry. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, Miss Dugan too says, I'm going to start watching this week. Everybody, a billion, like 3.9 billion people are watching, but only America can vote right now unless you have a VPN. Palaver says, I voted like a petty little bitch, right? I put Ace and Taylor dead last, me too, for every poll. We needed to shake Ace and his little acelets, yes, and it worked. But then, oh my God, I put him and Taylor at the end of everything. But then the look Taylor got in his eyes at one time, I've seen in my son's eyes when he was scared and in trouble. You know what I mean? And I was like, but hey, it's a wake-up call. Hopefully he'll be a better man. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you. Oh, and don't forget, we're going to have our Love Island giveaway here on LRGA Curves when we get to 5K. So make sure you're sharing this video and telling your friends to come subscribe, because once we get to 5K, we're going to have a major Love Island giveaway, you guys. And you can win exclusive Love Island Villa merch just like the Islanders. Will it be a water bottle? Will it be a tumbler? Will it be a t-shirt? Will it be luggage? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But you got to be subscribed to win, okay? Let's see. Some of the other polls are, here are the rankings actually from the polls, because I can't get back to the polls, I don't think. The rankings. Oh, look at this. Amaya Papaya. The Poppy people put this up on their webpage. They're considering doing an Amaya Papaya drink for Amaya. I bet she can win. I wouldn't mind if Amaya won, actually. Shelly dropped the ball. And like I just said, I'm from Oakland. If I catch you slipping, that's what it is. Okay, so now these people were in the lowest of the rankings, and they had to go home. But you see this couple right here walking out hand in hand? They were both already together, and now they get to leave together anyway, but it's just without the money. So that was cute. And I have no problem saying that America did their due, because we needed Austin out of there. I couldn't decide. Did Austin need to go before Taylor, or did Taylor need to go before Austin? And the mere fact that I don't know how many more options we were going to get to kick people off. And I was so heated at how Taylor played in Olandria's face. For 20 episodes, he slept by her. For 20 episodes, and pretending he liked her, in her face, when he was going around behind her back to guys saying, I'm not attracted to her, I don't like her, there's nothing you can do. When she would kiss him, she didn't notice that he was like practically wiping her kisses off, waiting to exhale. It was disgusting. It was disgusting how he treated her. And I did not like it, and I do not abide. And so he needed to be off the screen. But I'm okay with Austin going first, because your turn is next, my little friend. Taylor and his little girlfriend are going to have to go. Yes, I'm sorry, Clark. You shouldn't have been laughing at her and calling her and making those cold sounds when she walked by you. Oh, did the screen change? Let me see. I don't know. My phone is feeling hot right now. Let's see. Thanks for coming in. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell so you can get notified when we upload videos, because we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. Okay, so it's still on Taylor. And I was going to let these pictures refresh. There they go. Here's another vote. I said, no, they did not get it right. 70% of America also thinks he needs to go. Okay? Top chat right here. Corey dropped in. Thanks for coming. That drink sucks. I like poppies. I like kombucha probiotic drinks. I like things that aren't too sweet, you know? Thanks for coming through. And where are my feet? That is so bizarre. Where are my feet down there? Feet are supposed to be down there. I just don't know why they were down there like that. That's not where I had my phone pointed. You tried it? I hope she gets the money. Yeah. Oh, and if you go to her page right now, if we went to Amaya Papaya's page right now, there's so many people that already want to work with her. And just like the guy Jalen, the Hilton already, by the time he got out, because he went in, he had never got a passport. He had never went outside his little hometown in Georgia. And so that was part of his charm. And so when he left the villa too soon, he left with the following, and people loved his story, and they were like, oh, we're gonna put you up. And they were sending him places. The Hilton, Kathy Hilton's Hilton, yeah, was sending him places. So cute. But I think the right people went home. I could have wanted Taylor to go home. Now, Amaya Papaya ended up getting voted as the #1 by America after the guys it was so weird. Like 3 guys ganged up on her at the fire pit the night before and just took turns telling her that her bright, beautiful light was too shiny for their freaking dry, dusty loins, and she needed to curb it back and consider how they felt instead of be her motherfucking awesome self? To which I say, not today, Satan. And that's what she said too. She said, if I'm not your cup of tea, don't fucking drink it. Okay? She has the best thing. She's like, oh, I love the opportunity. And I have such gratuity for being in here. Okay, here's a ranking. Swipe to see standing on business moments you can't stop thinking about. So there was a moment where Huda and Shelly got into it. And due to that moment, I told you, she crashed out on a black man for 2 days. And every woman that's been in the house has been her competition and a bitch. And the ladies gave her grace because everybody's crashed out. And then that grace created Franken-Huda, is what I like to call her. People call her Hurricane Hooter. I call her Franken Huda because you created a motherfucking monster by not checking that bitch. In real life, she calls everybody bitch. That's why I can call her a bitch. So don't think it's like that. She literally walked in the house, saw Shelly in the laundry and was like, hi, bitches. Like, okay. So yeah, so she's a bitch too. But the boys and Amaya came in second. It was hard to watch. That came in last for me. I did not like it, Sam I am. Taylor and Olandria. So I told you how Taylor finally tells Olandria that he's picking Clark. But the way he did it, though, he had talked to her earlier that day and told her they were still exploring instead of just cutting it off because you've been telling people you haven't been attracted to her since episode 3. We're on episode 27, fool. And you told her in episode 26 that you were still exploring things with her until you get to the fire. And it's like, I pick Clark. I pick Clark then. I'm here for me, not for you. Well, shit. If you would have had that kind of attitude off jump, you would have been for you by yourself, fool. Can you guys hear me okay? I just realized my thumb was down there. Because the phone is in my hand. I need my stand. Okay, let's go on a field trip. We're going to get my stand. And then we have Ace and Austin. So I liked that Austin had finally talked to Ace about why did you vote Jeremiah off? And did anybody but me notice that freaking Ace didn't answer the question? Did anybody but me notice that shit? Because I certainly noticed that Ace didn't answer the damn question. Okay? He told Austin all about his stuff, but people were only mad on social media about Olandria telling her about her stuff, telling Huda about the kiss. But Ace had totally blew up Austin's spot, another man's spot. When he told Ace what he ate for dinner and what color the shit was that came out of his ass, he was paying such close attention to other men's shit, okay? And nobody said nothing about that. But when Olandria said, you want to tell the class about the kiss? Because you knew it wasn't a secret. You tell me I'm her best friend. And so obviously you didn't want me to keep it a secret. So while you're sitting here in my best friend's face, telling her that she can trust you and that you're a girl's girl, well, then why don't we just see about that? Because what you told me was, oh, let me put it the other way. What you told, I'm adjusting my phone. Excuse any squeaky noises. Excuse them. Almost done. Uh-oh. Let me do that. Let me do that. Oh, sorry. There. Is that better? Perfection. 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 Okay. So I think that's good right there. There. Okay. So, and then the other fight was Pepe and the Hannah choice. Do you guys think, who watches the show? Do you guys think that Pepe wrote that note to himself? I totally think Pepe wrote that note to himself so he could finally tell Grayson, who looked enough like Hannah that I thought he would go for it, but her energy just wasn't there, you know? And I feel like Pepe is an energy guy and a connection guy, and he was pining after Hannah so much that it did interfere in anything that Grayson was trying to do, but she didn't do anything to replace the feeling that Hannah had given him, which he was very vocal about being. He had never felt this way before. She brought something out of him that nobody had brought out before. And I was like, are you sure it wasn't just nut from spitting in her hand? Like, he was sounding like way in love, you guys. It was a lot. I absolutely love watching the three losers get shook when they saw America's vote. Not so cocky anymore. Not so cocky anymore. Right, Palaver? Ooh-wee! And then Shelly got a rude awakening too, because it feels like she's playing with Ace. Ace feels so plotted that it feels like people who talk to him are playing too. Like at this point, I'm like, because I saw Ace and Sierra talking right when the pagers started going off. Remember? And so when Sierra went and stood behind Taylor to save Taylor from going home and over her feelings for Olandria and the sisterhood, and she had just said the reason she voted Hannah off was because Hannah had the pleasure of making two great connections, you know? And so she had already experienced it. Taylor had made two great connections. So she goes and stands behind Taylor, who was on his second great connection, right after she splained away, sending away Pepe's chick because she had the pleasure of two things. She's a turncoat and a traitor, and her using a racial slur is the least of our worries. You can't trust a bitch like that. Plus, she's like in cahoots with some, like a young Ann Coulter type girl, giving Tommy Lauren a run for her money type best friend. Plus, she knows production. She needs to be, I hope the producers are tapping her shoulder right now, talking about, can you take your mic off? That's what they told you, Lisa. Can you take your mic off? And she said she knew something was wrong because they tell you don't take this shit off. She said, they said, take your mic off. And she was like, oh, is something wrong with my family? She thought something was wrong. Okay? So, and I also love that Love Island, you guys. I love that Love Island. Not only is it like a semi-live production, but it's supposed to come on at like 9 p.m. in California, but they let it come on at 6 p.m. because there's voting that has to happen, like I said. So it feels like a real special treat to be able to watch something like at 5:30, because then not only do they let it come at 6, then they drop it even a half hour earlier than that. So oh my God. And then I didn't even tell you guys. Me and my mom are watching this together. Mama Curves and I are watching this together. So tonight at 5:35, we're going to call each other, and she listens on my TV and watches on her TV. It's hilarious. I turn my TV up to 100 and we sit on the phone. It doesn't even have to be a FaceTime call. And we'll just sit here. And then she'll be like, wait a minute, pause it. And then she'll be like, now, why did Huda do that? It is the best thing ever, having this interaction with my mom and everything. It's so freaking awesome having this experience shared with my mom. It's so cute. It's so cute. Even though I didn't make her watch softcore porn, because that's what the people are doing over here. Here are some gallery pictures of the people, because it was a Maybelline host last night. And the woman in the middle is Olandria. The lady in the yellow next to her is Sierra. That's the one who used the racial slur. And she's coupled up with Nick. The lady next to her in the tie-dye dress is named Iris, and she was coupled up with TJ. The lady next to her is Amaya Papaya, and the lady next to her is Andrina. And then on the other side of Olandria in the middle, who was coupled up with Taylor until he so rudely finally came clean, and it was in such a rude way. I mean, he could have been nice about it, or he could have been straight about it, but he didn't have to be rude about it, you know? And he was just, and then he would say things to her like, oh, I got to consider Clark's feelings. But he never considered Olandria's feelings. And then even when Clark was up there getting slimed because she was laughing at Olandria, He's like, oh, I felt so bad for Clark. Not one time in the last 27 days has he ever shown any that he gives any fucks about Olandria. And as a viewer, all I can say is women try to be more aware, try to be try to pick up on energy better, try to, really have discernment better, because she slept next to a man that literally hates her. The way he acts is hateful. He literally hates her. And he's laying next to her for 29 days, or for those 20 days. And that's a lot of energy to be next to. Like, you can totally not have to sleep with the person that you don't like Amaya and Ace. They weren't sleeping together after it was clear that he didn't like her like that. He removed himself from their bed, because that's fucking rude. Put that hateful energy next to me during my REM sleep time. That's high key freaking malicious. So then next to Olandria in the blue dress with the blonde with the blue dress, that's Grayson. And next to her, the brunette in the blue dress, that is Shelly. And she's coupled up with Ace. And that's what I was saying. She looks like it's in cahoots. And because she's just like daft also. I'm like, he's not doing no, like, we don't see what the big hoopla is with Ace or Taylor or anybody. I don't see anybody going above and beyond to win the affections of any of these ladies. All the guys to me are acting like they're the prize. And those are the kind of guys you stay away from, ladies. You want a fool that's like, thinks you're beautiful, worships the ground you walk on, tells you you're gorgeous every day. You don't want a man that's in competition with you. That's what I'm saying. You do not want a man that's in competition with you. It'll never go well. And it feels like all the men so far, aside from like Austin and Pepe, and maybe TJ, kind of felt like that. No, TJ was hella rude too. So just Austin and Pepe, not that they told the people they were beautiful, but their energy didn't try to outshine the girls that they were with. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you get what I mean? And so these guys aren't really pursuing these girls. And also in life, the men pick the flower, ladies. You can mount him, you can spit in your hand, you can say, give me a kiss. You can do all of those things. But at the end of the day, the one he stays with is the one he picks. It's not the one that mounts him. Not necessarily. And if that is his choice, it's only going to be his choice till the next one mounts him. So that's why it has to be his choice. And Ace is sitting around like he wants Shelly to choose him. Taylor was sitting around like that too. And I just kind of feel like a lot of the men aren't doing a lot for women. Like I told you, 3 billion people are watching this show. And of that percentile, the demographics, I bet at least, I would say more than half is, let's say 3/4 probably is women. Let's say 3/4 is women, right? And of that 3/4, let's say, I don't know, 1/4 is young, impressionable, single women who are looking at this show and taking social cues from this show of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And there's going to be a whole batch of women, because of Love Island season 7, that are going to think it's okay to be a Huda, that are going to think that you need to go around chasing men and mounting them, that you need to constantly make yourself available for somebody who's not giving you any energy or doing anything to truly win you over. Because I'm not seeing any talks of Ace whispering no sweet nothings in Shelly's ear for her to be like, oh, well, I know Ace more than America. Bitch, we know the same Ace. You know what I'm saying? We know the same Ace. Darn, what did you say, Harry? What did you say? Was it bad? It looked like I wanted to read it. Where'd it go? Can't get to it. Yeah. The Sierra deets. Let me see. Can I get, do I have that in here? I think I do. Because she used that word as a freaking oh, look at that. So here are some more polls. See, Taylor was at the end. Getting to vote is so cool. Oh, here it is. Ace has no redeeming qualities as a boyfriend, right? He is ego motivated completely and would be a nightmare as he has no empathy for anybody. That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I vote for Shelly, but I don't vote for Ace unless it's a couple thing, because then I vote for Shelly because I want her to stay in it, but I want her to get, like, I need some more love bombs or whatever are coming through. I need them to do some more of that, because at this point, how dare production have only had these slim pickings for so long for these beautiful goddesses? Please. Waste my time much? Only on Tuesday. So here was the count the other day. Does it show what day this is? 23 hours ago. So see how the guy at the bottom, Jalen, he was the second person to go home. He got home to 1.5, started from 0. Now he's up to 1.7, you guys. Sierra, see how she had gained 209,000? Now she's losing, because this was the other day. So she had 682, gained 200, was almost to 1,000,000, and now she's back down to like 600. Zach, oh my God, he's losing now too, because he piled on freaking Amaya. Huda, the Kim K lookalike, she had a following already on social media, and she fancies herself a singer, and so she already had a little following, and so people are, I think, paying for followers for her at this point. That's what I'm really thinking. I don't know, because I don't know how many people are really doing that. Hannah got voted off the island. She already went up. Amaya, oh my gosh, she got 853,000 followers in one night, you guys. In one freaking night. That's crazy, huh? Well, no, that was by week 4. Sorry. Still, that's insane. I'm telling you, the reason I'm doing our little giveaway, because I'm trying to grow like that. I've been at this long and hard for like 4 good years, and we're finally to 3,000. Thanks for everybody who participates. And I'd love to get to like 10,000. 5,000 is just the next giveaway. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Mimir says, I hope you all enjoy a fun and safe long weekend. By the way, Love Island USA was not that popular until last season when they brought good options for the black main cast. Oh, that's why you're getting the high views. Oh, it's part everything on the map. Oh, the US put everything on the map. Also, I feel like them using Ariana Maddox helped put USA on the map, because, you know, I did Vanderpump Rules. I'm a Bravo holic. And so I know for a fact that, here it is. So I know for a fact that Ariana brought a lot of eyes to the show. A lot of eyes to the show. What you think? All the people, because she had stands at the time from the whole Scandival blowover, and they were just willing to go anywhere and support her. All the millions of women who ever had a man fuck on behind their back, fuck their best friend behind their back. He like, she had a whole freaking tribe. She had a 1 billion strong tribe. Remember, Ariana was getting deal after deal after deal after deal after deal. And then they say, Love Island hostess. And then all of a sudden it pops off. She's over there. The season's popping off. And now, but also, now you bring Bravo people over here. And we got high opinions. We got a lot of opinions in time, it seems. Because they're also saying that this type of frenzy hasn't been anything like before either. Now, this is the picture right here of the situation that happened with Sierra. So Yulissa got fired for saying her boyfriend that Inna needed to do something, and I said no, Inna, and then because you gotta, I'll take that, Inna, but she said all R's at the end of the word, you guys, all hard R's at that, and she's not black. Her last name is Escobar, and I'm not sure that people know or not, but if you're not black, you shouldn't be saying that word unless you feel like getting what happens when you do. So, and what happened to her was she got fired. They were like, yeah, Yulissa, yeah, can you come with us, please? Yeah, no, take off your mic. Come with us. That's what they did in the middle of the night because she said it and somebody sent the video in. And now we have the front runner right now on the show. The front runner is Sierra. She came in a bombshell. She came for Nick. She got Nick. She's been with Nick. But before she left, this is what she said, you guys. Botox isn't for everyone, but I love it for me. I'm incredibly expressive with my face, and I catch myself frowning for no reason throughout the day when I'm focusing on something or thinking too hard. LOL. I can also be a little, do you see that word? It's a racial slur as an adjective. I can also be a little racial slur when I laugh/smile. So I love getting a mini brow lift to open up my eyes and get that snatched look. This is not me encouraging, but more so sharing. So the producers have this for information now. But she's also the only couple that's locked in. But everybody speculates that her other half of the lock, Nick, really wants to be locking lips with Olandria still. And so hey, as a viewer, I just want her gone. I need you to be consistent with your freaking zero tolerance on racism. Okay? That's what I need. And I need her off the show. She should not have been able to influence the decision that was made last night because Taylor would have been finally out of my motherfucking hair. Okay? But no. They're trying to find a way to overlook this. They're trying to find a way to overlook it. Because it hasn't, I'm telling you, Yulissa came in one night, spent the night, the next day, she was gone. The ace was single and nobody even said, we were just like, I wonder where Yulissa is. I wonder where Yulissa went. By the way, the views expressed in this post right here from Sierra Ortega are not the views expressed by LRGA Curves. And I'm just showing you this to prove to you that this is what this young lady has done. And the controversy in question is actually correct because yes, is actually correct because that is a racial slur and it should not be used as anything ever. Ever. That's freaking rude. That is rude. And she needs to go. Do you guys agree? If they have a zero tolerance, they whisked her off in the middle of the night, Yulissa Escobar off. And isn't it interesting that Escobar got kicked off for saying the hard R and now Ortega's off for saying Asian slur? Is there a pattern power here? I did not realize that my Latinos and Latinas were like keen on these racial slurs like this. Like that's kind of like, and I'm not generalizing or nothing, but it is 2 for 2 so far. Hey, it's just an observation. Don't shoot the observer. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot the observer. It's not, you can't be mad at me because I notice. Don't do that shit and I won't notice. You see what I'm saying? But Ortega and Escobar, both with the racial slurs. Come through, come through. Do you think production made Sierra and Nick couple to avoid their getting expelled? Oh, you mean that whole go out on a date? That makes it even worse if they did. Because if you're going to be zero racism, zero tolerance for xenophobia, then you can't pick and choose when the zero happens. It's zero. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like if they did, that would just make it better for the recoupling afterwards if they had the foresight to do that, knowing that they were going to be getting her off. But if they did that to keep her, look, I was a new islander. If they don't get rid of her, I was a new islander. Because, that's part of what I deal with over here on Larger Curves is I'm always pointing that stuff out. You don't have to call it out. You don't have to take it. Call it out. Give it back to the person to deal with their own fucking demons. Why does America need to deal with the fact that she uses racial slurs as an adjective? We don't. Make her deal with that shit. Put it back on her. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me that right, funky whoa. Right? So, what else happened in last night's episode? Who's going to come on in just an hour, you guys? I get to have another episode in an hour. Is going to come on wherever you are in an hour on Peacock. Love Island, Season 7, Episode 28 will be coming on in just about an hour. Yes, and we're going to be there for it. But I don't know. Like, I'm a first-time Islander palaver, so I'm not sure. Is that something maniacal, diabolical that producers have done in the past? Why are you asking? Do you know of such a case? Does production do that on purpose? Do they put people together for controversy or to avoid something? Yeah, I don't know. Palaver, how do you feel about the Taylor and Olandria situation? That's what I would like to know from you. A lot of people feel different ways, and I would love to know, am I tripping when I think he could have just told her a long time ago the way Pepe told Grayson day 2, hey, I'm just not vibing with you. I don't feel like I'm vibing with you. That's not that many words. I don't feel like I'm vibing with you. That's like 8 words. He couldn't find 8 freaking words in 20 episodes of laying next to that lady. He found all the words for Ace. He found some words when Jalen was around. So that's another reason why I don't respect him or think that he stood on business at the pit. Because when another man was around for her to choose and leave your ass for, you showed up a little bit. You allowed her to believe it was reciprocal. And then as soon as Jalen was back, it was back to laying next to her, nothing. Not looking at her, not giving her, and keeping that stupid ass cowboy hat on. That's part of what he was also doing to her. She said she wanted a cowboy, knew he couldn't give her anything else, so he wore a fucking cowboy hat, you guys, for 21 days. And then he got hooked up with a new girl. We ain't seen that hat since, and now we're on day 27. He hasn't worn his cowboy hat in 7 days, you guys. He wore a hat for 21 days. That's 3 weeks. He wore a hat to fit the persona, to allow her, Olandria, to believe that she was with who she needed to be with. It was a person for her. And then he presented as a person for her and looked the part, you guys. Only to take the fucking hat off and put on a Cordell suit. What did you think of that, Palaver? He had the nerve to put on the Cordell suit, the suit that Cordell walked in to the first Love Island last year in his green lime sleeveless suit with the zippers upon it. And then he had his 6 little plaits. And now here we have Taylor and his 6 little plaits in the sleeveless thing. I was like, that's like when a housewife tries to come and do something another housewife has already done. It's already been done, dude. You need a stylist at this point. Because your stylist would have never let you get caught in the outfit that made freaking Cordell and Serena on the map. Because he wore a green one and she had on that green dress. Yeah, if you can tell, I went back and started watching season 6, you guys, to see what I was missing. I was like, well, if this isn't it, let me see at least the first episode of how the people, and it did feel very organic. It felt, that first episode of season 6 USA, when the ladies walked in the house, and it just felt so, I don't know, that whole first episode, and the way the guys came in and they didn't do all that double kissing right off top, and I don't know, it was just kind of like wholesome and organic. Yeah. And then, but then bringing Grayson in a bombshell on day 2. By episode 2, a bombshell's already in the house. I'm like, damn, you know. But I really enjoy the show. I really like it a lot. I'm enjoying watching it with my mom. I'm enjoying seeing how millennials and how Gen Zs, or whatever the freaking alphabets are, that are doing their thing now. Because part of the fascination to my mother and I is that we never did it like this. I'm all the way to my 5th decade, you guys, and at no time have I don't even have as many partners as I have fingers and toes in over, you know what I'm saying? In over 5 decades. But these young people are dropping it low and spreading it wide. There was a cloister in the house, but they want me to believe Charlie did it with his elbow. Well, Charlie needs to check his elbow because he might have a cloister there now too. Because that was definitely a cloister. They didn't do no kissing for 3 days while that thing was out. As soon as it left, they started spitting milk in each other's mouth. That was nasty. Yeah. It almost feels like they don't want to be able to tell who exactly started that shit, so nobody's liable. The way they were spitting milk back and forth in people's mouth after a cloister scare. And that's kind of why I didn't want old Andrea sucking on that bottom lip like that. I was like, I don't know how long those things stay active. But from what I hear, as long as there's no sore, no open sore, you're okay. But then I'm like, but isn't the spit inside your body? And if the sore was open, that would be the same inside fluid as the spit. So I'm confused. I'm not a scientist though. But I have a lot of questions about just how that shit works. You know? Yeah. But, oh, let me take this picture down. Sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. But do you guys think she should be gone over this? If the other lady was fired for saying it, then she should be fired for this. I mean, they let go of Jenny Wynn for less. What's this? Oh, you guys. So real quick, some of my curvies are in here from my other stuff. And we were talking about Real Housewives of Miami just now before I came on here. Ooh, look, 444. Hi, Dad. And Julia had the nerve to post this the other day when the episode dropped on her Instagram. 45 years ago, my parents took me here for the first time, where my love for the opera and musical started. Today is my turn to bring here my daughter, Victoria, da-da-da-da, right? So the first comment I did was 2 days ago when she posted it. And you see that I said throwing drinks is a form of assault. If nobody knew. Throwing drinks is a form of assault. Spitting on somebody can not only get your ass whooped, but it's a form of assault. Can get you some jail time and a fine. Yeah. Got to keep your hands and your bodily fluids to yourself, people. And so you see, like 499 people liked it. It's over that now. But then after last night's episode, and I see that she adopted 2 black children, which I felt in my heart that the reason she was sliding on Gertie had something to do with the children being black for some reason, is what I was thinking. And sure enough, she introduces her new kids that they adopted, who she claims Gertie is trying to harm her family, putting her family in danger with lies, and all it is the truth. And so I said I was right. The treatment towards Gertie is even worse. Finding out that you adopted 2 black boys, you're going to throw drinks on them too when they make you upset and stand over them and yell at them and then lie on them and make it that they attacked. I said attacked. It said attached. That they attacked you. Yeah, I said that. Sometimes I'm a thumbboard gangster. Sometimes. Okay, let's see. There was another one little thing because we're going to get out of here because I got to go call my mom and I got to go get the. Oh, people are serious about this game, you guys. People are serious. They are serious about Love Island. Look at this. This is real, you guys. I got this off the web. Look, so it could be a lie. But it says that their baby's name is going to be Island Amore. You see that? And they're like, did you just name your kid Love Island? People are serious. We serious. How are we serious? Where are we serious? Okay? I'm telling you, phenomenon. It's crazy watching people date like this. And just being able to vote and scale and then watch your votes in real action. Be able to affect change. Like, it works faster than a vote going to get you in Washington and see what law can get passed or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's part of the lore too. Like, especially in America, as voters, we feel like our votes don't count. Like, we're not doing shit. They don't listen. They change it. They don't count it. You know what I mean? So to be able to vote on this, and it literally, Taylor was at the end all night. I was like, oh my God, my vote counted. So it's definitely a phenomenon. I hope you guys will watch eventually. Yeah, she could have adopted a Ukrainian. Yes, she could have adopted Ukrainian and Russian kids too. This is all deflection for Julia, especially when Martina, yes, to get away with being called, yes. And I did not like when Martina was like, oh, that's just the person that she is. When freaking Julia's standing there lying on her, looking very scared and upset and forlorn. I'm like, bitch. She was about to try to use white lady tears, but it was on another white lady. So all she could really do was try to look forlorn and blame a black lady. It's assault, Allie from Miami. Assault doesn't require hands. If you make body-to-body contact, it's battery. Allie from Miami said, Florida, a woman was sent to jail for 30 days for coughing on another woman. It's called assault. Yep, especially when the COVID was out. Remember? Crazy people would be in line standing too close and the other person would turn around and take off their mask and cough on that bitch and the police would come. Remember? It's assault. Droplets are assault, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. So if that's assault, then let's go back to Huda and her abuse of Jeremiah. I'm using the hard M word on that and saying that it was molestation for her to keep on mounting him and putting hickeys on him when he told her not to do it. He said he didn't like it. He said, don't do it. And all we kept seeing was more and more hickeys upon his neck. And I'm like, that is molestation. That's not okay. It's high key control and manipulative to abuse somebody else's body like that. Yeah. And for her to adopt a little black baby, I kind of, look, you know, melanin is worth $450 an ounce. Did you know that shit? But where do they get it from? Ask the computer. Don't ask me. As a matter of fact, go to Chat AI and ask them where the fuck do they get this melanin that costs $450 for? And how does that lady who walks around being a black woman who says she's been injecting melanin for years, where's she getting that shit from? It makes you it makes ultraviolet rays. It heals you faster. You're less prone to sickness. All kind of stuff from melanin alone. Did you know that the lack of melanin is one of the pre-indicators to Parkinson's? From your substantial nigra deep in the recesses of your brain near your pineal gland. And when that area is void of melanin, then people develop Parkinson's. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true. Melanin is like a superpower, y'all. It helps a lot. It might have been battery because the victim said she felt droplets. Yes, yes, yes. Look, don't cough on me. I don't play the spit game. I don't play the booger game. That's not okay. That's not okay. So, voting happens, people blow up, uh, brands are made, legacies are created. This is the latest freaking, this is the latest, these are the arrows of the couples, the hookups so far and the connections. Not the hookups, because only Huda mounted Jeremiah, who's gone, but not Huda. Jeremiah's gone. Hannah spit in her hand for Pepe, she's gone. And Sierra mounted Nick, they're both still in the house. What's worse is Gertie is immunocompromised. That water had Julia spit in it. Yep, dangerous. Bravo needs to get her off the show. Exactly. Exactly. Get her off the freaking show. Everything okay? Get her off the show. Oops, sorry, Allie. I hadn't seen your comment. You're 100% right. Yep. Yep. So, Shelly had 3 connections. Ace had 3 connections. Austin had 3 connections. Huda's only had 2 connections, but they let her stick around. Alondria has had 3 connections. Yeah, that goes over there. Jeremiah had 2 connections. Nick has 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. Ulissa only had the 1 connection. Sierra has had 2 connections and kicks off other bitches for 2 connections. Amaya Papaya has had 4 connections, might be 5 with Brian sniffing on her area now. Hannah had 2 connections, Charlie and Pepe. Charlie got voted off. He was a bloke from Manchester, and he came in with his groovy little Austin Powers vibe, and for some reason nobody was vibing on him. I was like, oh, that's sad. Iris has had 1 real connection. I didn't put the connection to Jeremiah because America made that happen, and that wasn't her choice. Andrina has had 2 connections, one with Jeremiah, who America kicked off, and one with Brian. Clark has only had 1 connection. She's not exploring nothing. Why aren't they kicking her off? Why isn't Ace talking about her game? Ace was talking about Jeremiah and Huda's game from like day 2 when he saw the hickeys and shit, I guess. And so, yeah, their rules are only rules for certain people, obviously. And I don't like a hypocrite, especially if you're going to be trying to get me caught up in your shit. Be a hypocrite and keep it on the DL. Don't be a hypocrite and get everybody in your camp to get me kicked off, but then you're not carrying those same rules out for everybody, including your posse. I hate shit, two-faced stuff like that. I just don't like it. Jaden has only had 1 connection, and that was with Austin. And I had a thing to Nick, too, because he told her he liked her, but she didn't like him. That's why I left it off. It wasn't a real connection. So then we go over to the boys' side. Zach at the bottom is currently voted with Erica. America voted Zach and Amaya Papaya as the #1 couple. Didn't they? They really liked them together. But they had just fought, and she had told him to fuck off. She didn't want to hear his voice, not no more, to stop talking to me. Fuck you, stop talking to me, she told him. And now they're like going to try to work it out because they see if Amaya's smart. At least Amaya's paying attention to what America says. Alondria and Shelly are daft. And I want them to win really bad, but I'm going to be honest. They are daft. They are not the sharpest knives in the drawer. They are not playing the game correctly, in my opinion. At least Amaya's making connections. She's kissing the boys. She's being herself. She's showing us a personality. She's doing these fun things. She's hilarious. She has tunerettes like me. She will make a song out of anything, you guys. I love it. So anyway, so her and Zach had just fell off. America had been voting for them in the nighttime. They end up coming up. And so now they're going to try to work it out. And then we have Chris, the black guy above him. Now, Chris is 6'8", and he said that he was into Shelly, but now him and Huda are together. Elon was only interested in Amaya and Sierra so far, but he can't be with Sierra because she closed it off with Nick. And Brian has only ever been with Andrina. TJ has only ever been with Iris. Pepe has only ever been with Hannah. And then he got stuck with Grayson. And then Andrina stepped to him. And who else? Oh, and then we have Nick over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He should have 5 arrows at least. Oh, and then Taylor. You can't even see Taylor. But his connection was Olandria and Clark. He's only had 2. Now, Jalen and Olandria, America had Jalen flown to Fiji for Olandria. That might be what somebody heard. Somebody had asked me about Olandria in the last one. That's what it is. America had Jalen flown to Fiji so she could have a cowboy to pick from, and she ended up overlooking him for Taylor's fake ass. And see, that's what happens. Have you guys ever heard that saying about the man gets to heaven and he's talking to God and he's like, well, God, I was praying for you to help me. And he's like, when it was flooding, I was praying. Oh no, that's the wrong order. So the order is the town was starting to flood. And there's a man in his house and people are passing by. They're like, the town's going to flood. You want to come with us? And he's like, nope, God's going to save me. So then the water gets up to the front porch. A boat goes by and they're, get his attention. They're like, hey, water's getting kind of high. You can jump in this boat. And the guy's like, nope, God's going to save me. So then the water comes in the house and the water is in the house. And it's upstairs. He has to go outside on the roof onto the attic. So now he's outside and a helicopter comes by and they're like, hey, the water's not going to go down anytime soon. This is going to be our last time to try to come get you. Why don't you climb up this rope and get on this helicopter? And the man's like, nope, God's going to save me. So then he ends up drowning and he gets to heaven and he's talking to God. And he says, God, what's up, man? It's like, my faith. I've had faith in you forever. I'm glad to be here and everything. But, I was praying when that flood happened and you didn't even save me. And God turns to him and says, I sent you a car, I sent you a boat, and I sent you a helicopter. So that is a story about how you have to be aware of when you're getting what you asked for. Landria came on the show asking, I want a cowboy, I want a cowboy, I want a cowboy, I want a cowboy. I don't know why you went to Fiji to get a motherfucking cowboy. Or how big you thought the lot of potential cowboys was going to be in Fiji. Just for you, Olandria. But they flew in a motherfucking cowboy after they heard Taylor tell Ace that you can't force attraction and it just wasn't there. Then she gets to After Sun and she's like, oh, America, what you know that we don't know? But she still didn't pay attention to America. On the other hand, we have Amaya Papaya, who everybody thinks is dumb. Everybody thinks she's so silly and not smart and just too much. And meanwhile, she had just cussed Zach out. Told him, fuck off, don't talk to me. Do not talk to me. I don't want to hear your voice. Don't talk to me ever again, she told him. Ever again. Now, they're in an island on Fiji for 6 weeks. She told this fool, ever again, don't talk to me. Ever again. America votes for her and Zach as the favorite couple. And what is Amaya doing in the next episode, y'all? Because we already got the first look. Where's my phone? We can listen to it real fast. Oh, it's in the other room? Amaya and Zach are trying to work it out because they're paying attention to America. If America's saying you're number one, then that means you have a chance to win $100,000 that nobody was supposed to talk about but Ace. In the game that nobody's playing but Ace. Okay? Olandria saw a toy cowboy. America sent her a real cowboy. She said, nope, I already got Woody. Yup. There's a snake in my boot and it's called Taylor. There's a snake in my boot. Yep, Taylor. And for her to be so, like, okay, but I'm not faulting Olandria for being naive, innocent, and willing to believe somebody she laid next to for 19 days. I'm not going to knock her for that. I will knock her for not even exploring an alternate option. That's the only thing I'm knocking her for. And then even after the option was gone, I'm not going to keep on knocking her for being with Taylor because he was breadcrumbing her. You know? Yep, she wanted Woody. And God sent her freaking, what was that? Mario Van Peebles. And what was that show with Mario Van Peebles when he was a cowboy? Yeah, that one. Sent her that. And Jalen is so sweet. He loves his mom. He goes and visits his grandmother on the weekend to just sit for a spell and talk to her. That's the kind of man you need. How a man treats the women in his life that are by blood is the indication of how he'll treat you. That's an indicator. Anyway, you guys, like I said, it's 5 o'clock. I got 30 minutes or so before the next episode comes on. I hope you enjoyed this live. And I really hope that you're subscribed. And I really, really hope that you tell a friend, because we're doing our 5K giveaway here on LRGA Curves. Only got 2,000 people to go. It's not that far. It could happen this weekend if we tell a friend. If we all tell a friend, we could get to this. And then I could get to giving away stuff. And then get to the even bigger way, the bigger giveaway at 10K. But steps. It's baby steps for a reason. Anyway, you guys, I'm glad I got to connect with you today. And I hope you like connecting with me. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. On your way out, leave a comment. I love to interact. And I will see you in the next video, people. Peace.